Warning: Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are warned that the following program may contain images and voices of deceased or missing persons. Welcome to Vanishing Voices. This is part 2 of our series, where we uncover truths, confront silence, and stand up for those whose voices are no longer heard. I'm investigator Jake, and together we will look into the details of a case police were quick to label as a missing person. Or was it murder? If you ever wanted to get rid of a body, the Kimberley-Pilbara area is the perfect spot. As written in a recent article in the Karratha Bugle, you could drop somebody anywhere out here and it would never be found. Never. It's the perfect place for it. Today, we're taking a hard look at the suspicious disappearance of Wesley Lockyer, a strong, proud man, a ranger, a brother, a son, and someone who, as of today, is still missing. And just missing according to police. Nothing suspicious, nothing criminal, just missing. If you still believe that, by the end of this podcast, I'll give up my job as an investigator. But this isn't just about Wesley. It's about a bigger, uglier pattern playing out across the Northwest. Money plus drugs plus gangs adds up to people going missing. It's that simple. It's that terrifying. It's destroying family, culture, and lives. It is an epidemic in plague proportions. Every person who lives in the Northwest has in some way been affected by the drug problem. But how has it been allowed to get to this level? Do police and the government acknowledge or even recognize the extent of this situation? Or are they just covering their eyes and ears and hoping no one will bring it to the public's attention? Segment 1. The bigger picture. Let's be honest. The drug crisis in the Northwest is out of control. It's not just about addiction. It's about power, violence, and silence. Key gangs are running entire regions. Some say with impunity. And we have to ask, does it go higher when people go missing and police fail to act? What message does that send? Are we saying some lives are less worthy of search, justice, or closure? 5 young males have gone missing, all with suspicious circumstances, in the last 2 years from the Northwest, and then one. J.O. Rivers heading home to WA. Some have similar circumstances around their disappearance. Yet police are refusing to look at the bigger picture, failing to acknowledge all these males have vanished under suspicious circumstances, never to be seen or heard from again. There's a common thread that links all these males together, and maybe even the same people responsible. Segment 2. The flawed system. Let's talk about missing persons protocols and police response or lack thereof. Police often say, it's not a crime to go missing. We get that. But when someone disappears under suspicious circumstances, when there are signs of distress, danger, coercion, that is not a simple disappearance. That is potentially a crime, and it should be treated as such. Take the Kelhead case. 3 people went out prospecting, only 1 returned. It was logged as a missing persons case, and police delayed action. When they finally started searching, Ray Kellett was found, murdered. Weeks later, vital evidence lost, lives shattered. And still, his wife Jenny has not been found. Would the outcome have been different if police had have treated it with the seriousness this case deserved? Of course. Police stuffed up big time, and now there is no justice and no sign of Jenny. Who holds police accountable when they make life-threatening mistakes? We guess no one. And another. The Travis Hart case. 5 people went out in a vehicle to a nearby station, and only 4 returned. How can 4 people walk the 10K back into town and not Travis? When a search was finally conducted 6 days later, sadly Travis's body was found. Police are claiming he just wandered away from the vehicle. The Hart family think differently. The word is that it was a paid hit. Travis was killed, murdered. But again, police have dismissed it as an accidental death. These are not the only cases where police have failed families, failed the public, and failed to provide justice for the victims. We could cite many more cases, and we'll be talking about these in future podcasts. But for now, we focus on Wesley. Segment 3. Wesley Lockyer. The known facts. Firstly, before we go into any detail, we are simply covering the facts, information that has either been provided to police, investigators and family. We will mention names of the people last to see Wesley, and some of the circumstances leading up to his vanishing. If this makes you in any way uncomfortable, don't come abusing us. Maybe clear your conscience and tell us the truth. Our only motive here is to find Wesley. If you don't like it, then we question your own intentions. Wesley isn't just another name on a missing persons list.
Good morning, family and friends. Just got woody mine here, Nyamal country. Doing a bit of heritage work. And yeah, as you can see, beautiful weather.
October 2022, he was loving life, working proudly with the Rangers, spending time with family. He just returned from a camp in Fitzroy and Broome. Plans were made for the week ahead. Life was moving forward. Wesley was happy. Then he vanished. No warning, no reason. The timeline leading up to the last hours Wesley was seen leaves us with more questions than answers. Wednesday, Wesley and some of the Rangers went out to the Rowie Hotel in Broome. Wesley stayed the night out with family and was collected early in the morning by the Ranger bus driver. But they had trouble locating Ray. An hour later, he was located on the other newer side of town. Thursday, Wesley returns home from the Rangers camp. Friday, he's seen out with mates. Attends a Gumula meeting. Goes out that night to the Walkabout Hotel and Last Chance Tavern.
Acting crook, are we?
Saturday morning, Wes gets a lift back to Jinpurinya with his mate Robert. Wes was very hungover and Robert videoed him walking to the car. He's then seen at home by a reliable source, later that morning. By Saturday afternoon, social media silenced. Very out of character for Wes. Maybe he was sleeping, recovering from his hangover. We are not sure. Sunday, picked up by Wally and Vince Dershow and Maitland Naria. They visit nearby Punjia Newmal to see Michael Allen. Wes is dropped off back home according to Wally. Then, varying accounts as to what Wes was doing the rest of Sunday. It is interesting that Wesley's home was only small, 2 bedrooms, and yet there were others staying there at the time. How could they not see Wesley? Monday, telecommunications records show Wes was active on his phone between 4:50 a.m. and 6 a.m. that morning at Jinpurinya. Okay, so we know he was home on the 24th early in the morning. Who was he communicating with so early? Why was he checking his online banking? Do you know who he was in contact with? At around 6, Wes knocked on the door of the room where Darian and Ray were sleeping, asking for Ray. Darian said Ray was not there and then got up to make herself a coffee. Then he was seen by Darian, outside, talking loudly. Worried, she heard Wes say, "Where's Yalbu Ray? I need to see him. He understands what I'm talking about. These mob keep blaming me." Darian asked Wes if he was okay and he replied, yes. Then he said, "What the fuck? I didn't do anything." That was the last time Wesley was seen or heard. Does that not raise suspicion? What comes to mind when you listen to this? Does it sound like Wesley just wandered off into the bush and perished of his own free will? Wesley has not been seen since. He vanished without a trace. Segment 4. The Red Flags. Serious inconsistencies. Wesley's wallet was located under his bed, but his keycard was missing. Where is Wesley's card? We received information of a certain person trying to sell it. Could this be true? Telecommunications records show Wesley's phone battery died Tuesday, the day after he disappeared, yet mysteriously it was charged again the following Sunday. Who charged it and why? And the real red flag, Wesley was heard saying, "This mob are blaming me." Called out for his Yalbu Ray, then vanished. The police want us to believe that Wesley wandered off, went walkabout. They are saying he was possibly under the influence of something and perished in the bush. Wesley was an experienced bushranger who knew the land so well, he had no reason to just wander off. Let's be real. Wes didn't just wander off. The land around Jinpurinya is sparse. The rangers searched every day, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., for 3 months straight. Drone, plane, foot, and dog searches were conducted. No trace, no sign. Wes was a big man. He would not have got far on foot, and there would have been something of his located if he was out there. Ray? Why didn't he search with them? With a family, with the Rangers? Wesley was his Yalbu, his brother by culture with a bond so strong you do anything for your Yalbu. Ray and his partner Darian had been living in Wesley's house for 6 months, rent-free, and yet where was Ray when Wesley needed him? Why didn't Ray look for Wesley? These are questions we will probably never know the answers to, but may hold the key. Segment 5. The silence is loud. Despite all of this, police still are treating this as a missing person case. No urgency, no escalation, no task force. Under pressure from the rallies and petition, they offered a reward, a political knee-jerk reaction. This reward was meant to have been announced in January, but now the government has changed. It is no longer a priority and was all just smoke and mirrors. Police launched a dedicated investigation. And nearly 6 months later, the family have still not been told of the outcome and are still waiting for answers. We have to ask, who holds police accountable? Why is there so much resistance by police to acknowledging possible links between multiple missing males? Because admitting there may be a serial issue would cause panic or finally demand action? Segment 6. The unanswered questions. The alleged hunting trip on Sunday. Did it even happen? Ray tells us he, along with Cade Dershow, Jackson Alberry and Julaine Garlett, all went on a hunting trip Sunday afternoon. 30k. So off the highway into Munda West, Ray accidentally let off a round in the vehicle which went through the fuel line, leaving them all stranded until they could get help Monday. Gunshot. Was it real? Did they go hunting Sunday? Why do the stories and accounts of the trip vary so much? Does anyone know where Cade's Land Cruiser is now so we can confirm this story? We need evidence for those who are hindering this investigation by your personal feuding. How about helping us to find Wesley instead? Helping us get the answers we so desperately need, unless you have something to hide. Then we get a tip-off there was a drug drop near Jinpurinya Sunday night. At least 2 males in a green Commodore collected. This was confirmed to us by Ray as happening. This means Ray and Cade were at Jinpurinya, not out hunting. So did they go hunting at all? What day did they go? Did Ray fire a shot through the fuel line? Whose gun was Ray using? He doesn't have a gun license. How can they be out hunting when Ray confirmed they were at Jinpurinya Sunday night? And why has Ray never returned to Jinpurinya to get his car? It is still sitting there 2 years later. And most importantly, where is Wesley Lockyer? Who is blaming him? And blaming him for what? Wesley said, Ray knows what I'm talking about. Who was Wesley communicating with early that Monday morning? Were they threatening him? Do you know the answers to any of these questions? If so, please help us find Wesley. We've had information passed to us detailing the recruitment of Indigenous males in prison, offering them protection and culture in return for favours when they get out. Favours which are to do with transporting drugs throughout the state, collecting debts, and other duties which we will leave to your imagination to figure out. What we do know is the groups responsible for the recruiting view these Indigenous males as disposable. They don't care if they get caught or if they die.
Meds. You know, people who give you, who you sell, who you go and buy off, they don't love you. They just want to kill you. That's what meth does to our families. So think twice before going and buying meths of dealers, because they don't love you. We do.
We strongly believe Wesley's disappearance is related to something criminal. He was getting the blame for something he didn't do, something serious enough to get rid of him forever. And the scary thing, a week later, Clinton Lockyer vanishes. How many more are going to disappear? In closing, we are not making any accusations as to who is involved or responsible for Wesley vanishing. We are here to ask questions, to shine light in dark corners, to talk about the facts we know, to speak up for those who cannot. What you take from this episode, that's your call. But we know this, Wesley was taken. He didn't leave by choice and someone knows something. If you do speak up, help us bring him home. Help us bring all of them home. Because justice doesn't come from silence. It comes from truth. We need your help and your support. Stand with us as we seek justice for Wesley and the others who have vanished. We at CIS will keep Wesley's story going. We will keep exposing the facts. We will keep asking the hard questions. And we will keep fighting for justice.
Tired but not giving up. Keep on pushing when the going gets tough. With every step we rise above. Tired but not giving up.
Thank you for listening to Vanishing Voices. Stay tuned for the next episode, because we're not letting go. If you have any information which you think may help this investigation, please contact us at www.cotmaninvestigations.com. And if you want to help us fight for justice for Wesley and the other missing males, please sign our petition. Speak up, stand strong, and stay safe.